Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, a little Bazaar monster tier list for you. So guys, this could be a little different, because one, we're doing a tier list, but also, these tiers are a little unusual, because I've always take. So what that means is if you see this monster encounter, you should always pick it. Basically just always pick it. There's very rare circumstances where you might not want it. For the most part, always pick it. And that's when it's really strong. Now there's also always take XP. I'm a huge XP junkie. Okay, I think XP is extremely strong. You want to consistently be getting XP in this game, getting ahead of your opponent, getting to key level thresholds like 7, 10, and 13. So some monster encounters are going to be so strong because you want the XP. You're not going to necessarily want to take them because they're strong, but because they're XP. And I thought it was important to differentiate that. Beyond that, there's often take, which is usually like, if you don't get one of your always take options, you can take it. Sometimes if you have a very good one for your build, it might, actually take precedence over some of these always takes. Sometimes take, just a little less likely to take it than often. Situational is situational. Usually it means like, for example, you're playing a burn build and you go against a mob where, they have a very strong burn skill in particular. So you're like, okay, if I get this, it's going to break my build. But if you're a weapons build, you don't care about a burn skill, so it's situational. And then I never want to take these ever. So let's get into it. So, Dire Inglet, or Fanged Inglet, whatever. This one right here, it's decent, right? I don't think it's the strongest, I don't think it's the weakest. This is probably my third or fourth pick of the day one monsters to take. I think if you get Fang, it's very strong early. I think the crit skill is nice to have. Beyond that, though, I'm not raving about it. And so I'm actually going to take this sometimes. Kyver Drone. Kyver Drone doesn't have the best rewards. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Vanessa, I'm a little more likely to take it just because of Lang. Beyond that, though, you don't care about the insect wing early. You don't care about, I don't know, man, like any of it, really. I'd still rather do this than like Kimono or Lighter in most circumstances. Most circumstances, really. Nice little English there. But it's definitely the best of a bad bunch. I would say it's situational, where if you have Kyver Drone, Lighter, and Robe here, you take Kyver. But beyond that, I would take this one or these next two here. You should always take Viper. I did a whole video on this. Viper's extremely strong. All of Viper's rewards are insane. Well, not insane, but they're all like plus or really great. Viper's skill and Viper's Fang and Viper's Poison Fang are all extremely good early. Very, very strong. And then you can also get one regen or an extract on a poison build. You should always take Viper if you can. Granted, with Viper, unlike the other ones, you actually have to prepare for it. You have to be able to kill him before he kills you. It's not that hard. You should always take Viper. Sorry, another caveat with this, guys. If you, for example, have no items going into your day one fight, you should not take Viper, right? You would lose. So there's a big caveat on this tier list where obviously you need to have the strength to beat these enemies. Like you can't just pull up to Awakened District later in the game and be like, oh, I have no items, but the S list or like the tier list says I should always take it. No, you have to be able to actually beat stuff. But if you're in this circumstance where you can beat stuff, you should take it. If you can beat Viper, you should always take Viper. Bananabal is often take. And the reason is Bananabal's skill, very strong. Every time you overheal, you're going to haste your items for one time. Very strong. Good in pretty much any character. Gives you a reason to take heal stuff. Beyond that, you also have the option to get the Blue Nanas. And Blue Nanas is good because 20 health early game is a decent amount of health. Additionally, if you missed on a food item, a toy item, or a friend item for your furry monster event, you can get Blue Nanas, which can bail you out of that, because XP is really, really important, as you guys know. Look at this, I have a whole tier dedicated for it. So, Blue Nanas is really good. Also, Duct Tape can be really good depending on your build. I really like Blue Nanas. If I don't see Viper, I usually take it. Pyro is very situational. If I have a lot of burn items, like first fight, like maybe I'm, Vanessa, and I don't see Viper, but I have a Trebuchet, or like Cannon, or a Lighter, I'll go there. Because like, a Lighter could add to your burn synergy, either of the Cinders could add to your burn synergy, or the skill. So if I have burn items, I will go Lighter, because no matter what, I'm basically guaranteed to increase my burn item strength. And then finally, we have, is it Haunted Kimono? Yeah, Haunted Kimono. I am not a huge believer in it. Unless you're Pig, because If you're not pig, I don't think you really want to spend all your resources like upgrading this Kimono. And it's not that much scaling. You do get a 1 in 3 chance of getting Kimono, which is higher than some of the other rewards, but if you get scrap, it's horrible. So I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in the best item you get from Kimono. So again, if you're Pygmalion and you're like, well, maybe I could high roll, try to get, you know, an early like robe, whatever, cloak, I can't remember what it's called. It's bad. Don't go Kimono. I think it's the worst one, but I'm putting it in situational because it's not like a never take. Okay, day 2 enemies. Coconut Crab. Coconut Crab is very good. I take it often, only if I can't take Rogue Scrapper. I'm actually going to take this moment real quick. Let's put Rogue Scrapper and always take XP, and I'll come back to Coconut Crab. Coconut Crab is very strong, and the reason is, its skill, hard shell, gives you a tremendous amount of shield. Also, you can get the Coconut, which will give you 30 health. It's a decent amount of health early. Crusher Claw can also be pretty good, especially if you're Pygmalion. Could be a good way to do damage if you're doing a huge shield build. And then, is it like Conch Shell? Whatever the shell is that shields equal to the number of aquatic items you have, times like 15 or whatever. Very good. Very good on Vanessa. So like, those are all reasonable drops, especially if you're Vanessa or like Pig for the Claw. So it's really good. Now, speaking of Rogue Scrapper is like the first true always take for XP option. And the reason is, levels are very important. As I said before, I'm an XP junkie. If you take Rogue Scrapper, it is the easiest way to guarantee you'll be level 3 on day 2, which is a huge health and item advantage over your opponents if your opponent's level 2. So taking Rogue Scrapper is the most consistent way to ensure you're level 3 on day 2. And that's really nice. Now, if you're not gonna hit level 3 no matter what, you probably don't go Rogue Scrapper, or like, if you're too weak for Rogue Scrapper, it's still okay to go things like Crab, but Rogue Scrapper is just such a huge advantage. Not because of the items it drops, just because of the XP. You can also skip Rogue Scrapper if you have like an influx of XP. Like for example, if you got multiple XP events beforehand, so you're gonna hit level 3 even without the Rogue Scrapper fight, then you can start considering things like Coconut Crab a little more consistently, but Rogue Scrapper always take. Coconut Crab is basically my plan B if I can't take Rogue Scrapper. Giant Mosquito. It's pretty decent. Its rush skill is really good. Beyond that, I don't super love it. I mean, I think it's hard because like I would rather just take Rogue Scrapper like 99% of the time. If I do need to take another fight on day 2, I will go Mosquito, so I guess I'll put it in off and take. The Insect's Wings aren't super good early because giving cooldown on items that you'll probably swap out by the late game isn't amazing in my opinion. Also, Proboscis deserves a special little shout out. It's pretty sick. It's not like OP, but it's cool. So, I think it's a fine encounter. I like it better than the silver encounters I'm about to talk about here. So Thief is very situational. In my opinion, you only want to go Thief if you're doing something like a one-weapon Vanessa build and you really want to get Shadowed Cloak, because it'll just like enable your one-weapon Vanessa build for like day 5, day 6. But then like a lot of his other stuff is bad. Like the Pickpocket skill is bad, Concealed Dagger's really bad, and then you have a lot of other mid options. It's just not great. I'd much rather go all the bronze options instead of, you know, this guy. And then Boarrior is actually going to be our first never take. And here's my thought. So Boarrior, I actually think is harder to beat than Rogue Scrapper because of Lumbors in the early game. It is insane. And so, because of that, I would rather take the harder enemy, or sorry, the easier enemy that gives me more XP, or take the weaker enemy, because if I can't beat Rogue Scrapper, I can't beat Boarrior. So like, it's in this weird spot where it's the hardest fight, but gives less rewards than another fight. It doesn't make sense. I never take it. This fight is so hard, and it gives less reward than Rogue Scrapper. Maybe there's an argument if you really want to try to get the Lumbors, and you know you're really strong, and you already know you're going to get the level at the end of day 2, but I don't think so. Never take that fight. Okay, day 3, Dabbling Apprentice. I often take this. So the reason Dabbling Apprentice is good, if you are weak and you cannot take extra XP, Dabbling Apprentice is really nice because it allows you to potentially get a 1 in 3 chance to get an item that when you sell it gives you an extra XP. So if you can't take like the hardest fight on day 3, you still have like a 33% chance if you take Dabbling Apprentice to still get max XP. So that's a really good fallback option for me, especially it's usually when I hit like this bike guy right here. He's really strong and sometimes scary, so I might take Dabbling and hope for the XP high roll. Beyond that though, like he doesn't have a lot of great items, so that is one thing to consider, is that like you're only really rooting for XP in my experience. If you're Mac, he has some decent potion synergy. He also has that skill when you fall below half, reload a couple items, so maybe that's good if you're like a Weaponessa with grenade and double barrel or something, but it's not amazing. I do it for XP because I value XP that much. Tempest Flamedancer is very situational in my opinion. I would never really go out of my way to pick this. I think it's horrible. But it's situational. And basically the way I view it is if you want to play one weapon Vanessa and you want a high roll, you take Flamedancer. You're trying to get those fiery, is it not katana, it's hold up. What is that item? Fiery Cutlass. There we go. So you either want Fiery Cutlass so you can roll it with the Mandala event into a fiery item, or you want Fiery Cutlass because it's an insane one weapon start with Vanessa. But otherwise, I don't think you want this. Literally, if you're going for a high roll play, every other reward is bad. You get like the worst skill in the game from this guy. Every other reward is bad. So, totally skip over that. Beyond that, we have Frost Street Challenger. I think he's another never tier. And the reason is, I was thinking, and I don't think I've ever consciously chosen to fight this guy. He has really questionable rewards, and I would just much rather have XP than anything this guy is going to give me. Like, I would much rather have XP than anything he's going to do for me. But yeah, I've never consciously chosen to fight this guy. He has bad rewards, like, nothing from an item standpoint that he's going to give you is good. And then, beyond that, like, I guess he gives you a decent chunk of gold, which, if you're really lacking on gold, maybe you can go for him. But I've literally never picked this fight. I'd rather have XP or, you know, something worth fighting for. I don't like this. Sorry, that's actually Rogue Scrapper. Rogue Scrapper is a lot worse when you're not getting an XP advantage. And so I'm going to put it in sometimes. The thing with Rogue Scrapper is that, like, its items are actually okay. Like, you can get Rust Skill for start of combat slow, or you could even get, like, you could get a gold scrap or a gold, I think it's medkit, that you can re-roll using the Mandala event into a small gold item. Neither of those are horrible, but basically if I can take 3 XP on this day, I'm gonna do it. And so Rogue Scrapper's okay, but Rogue Scrapper's a lot better than anything else we've covered on day 3 so far. I guess besides Apprentice. Apprentice and Rogue Scrapper are both solid. Like, basically, if I see Tempest and I can't take a day 3 hard fight, I'm taking Rogue Scrapper and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. But yeah, it's decent money too. Same here with Street Gamer. Street Gamer is just another one of those awkward spots where it's like, if I can't beat the hard fight and I don't want to take Tempest, I'm taking Street Gamer just because it gives more gold than Tempest. Beyond that, you have bonus points if you're playing as Pygmalion because it can set you up with its skill for like a weight or heal build. And then it's like, if you're Pig, it's honestly pretty decent if you have like a heal build already going. So maybe you actually like think about it pretty heavily. Also, he can give Yo-Yo as a reward. Yo-Yo is a crazy item that works on pretty much almost any character with the right setup, so pretty good. But again, I'm not going to take these over either the 2 hard fights, which I'm about to go over. So now we have this guy, Hoover Bike Hooligan. Now, I don't take him because of his rewards. His rewards are fine, but he gives you 3 XP. The real reason is 3 XP is really nice. It's a lot of XP. So, like, he's also going to give a lot of gold. Like, some boards are going to appreciate his rewards. Like, if you're Dually, you could get an Uzi upgrade or another Uzi. If you're Vanessa, you can get some, like, ammo stuff going on. Honestly, his ammo skill's not bad. Look, his rewards are better than I remembered. But you're not taking this guy because he's, like, the best other than ever. Like, you're not raving about taking him. You're doing it because he gives good XP, sometimes decent rewards. Unlike Eccentric Etherwright, who you should always take if you can. And the reason why is because Etherwright has the rigged skill, which at the start of combat hastes, I believe, 3 items for 2 seconds. Maybe it's 2 items for 2 seconds. Or maybe those numbers are mixed up a little bit. Anyways, start of combat hastes multiple of your items. Insane skill. You have like a 1 in 5 chance to get it. It is quite it might be like a top 3 skill in the game, behind like Radiant Corsair and Bonk. It's insane. It is insane. And you have really good odds to get it, and also you get 3 XP. Beyond that, there's other decent rewards, like Barbed Wire can be a pretty good early game item. Like, Force Field can be a decent drop depending on the way your build is going. Like, Force Field could be really good in Pygmalion, it could be pretty good in Dually depending on how things are going. Very good fight. And it's not a hard fight. Like, if you just have a couple weapons, you win. The only thing this, like, she really beats is poison builds. If you can't do, like, any damage that removes shields, she'll beat you. 99% of things beat her. And you should always take her. Because rigged is that strong. And even if you don't get rigged, you got 3 XP, and odds are a pretty decent item reward anyways. Okay, going on the day 4. Boilroom Brawler, put him in Never Tier. Horrible, 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 horrible. The rewards are horrible. His skill, Tinker, which gives you shield every time you haste, it's fine. It's not amazing. It's like a decent little... Like, you're not going to complain if you get it, but you're not like, oh, I got Tinker, my build's broken. This is horrible. You get 2 gold from this fight, 2 XP. I would only take this if you're that weak. But, like, this gives you nothing. I would never take it. Same with Dervish. Dervish doesn't really give you any notable rewards. You do get crit skill, which gives all your items crit. But it's like 4%. And then you could also use it as a way to, like, if you high roll gold bar, you could get 7, like, net gold from this fight. But really, you don't want to be taking this. You want to be taking anything else on day 4. Super weak. Like, rewards, XP, everything. Bad, bad, bad fight. Raider. So Raider's actually pretty decent if you're playing Vanessa or Mac. Crow's Nest. A Silver Crow's Nest is a pretty good drop, especially as Vanessa. You also have that skill that gives your leftmost ammo item, plus X amount of ammo. So that's nice on either Vanessa or Mac, depending on what you're doing. It could be nice on Dually if you have like Battery or Uzi or something like that, but usually Vanessa or Mac. You know, and if you're weaker, like here again, big XP junkie, you probably want to be taking things with a lot of XP. You can take this and not feel horrible about it. So I'm going to put it in the sometimes tier. And then here's the old art of Retiree. This isn't the current art. The current art is like more colorful and has this old man like smiling and stuff. Actually, no, he looks pretty grim. But if you're playing Pig, Retiree has really solid rewards. Especially if you have like a weights, early game, bushel, robe, whatever, that kind of setup. Like weights, bushel setup. And honestly, if you're too weak to take on like the hard fight, I'm not mad at this one either. Like, this feels a lot better to take on than like, you know, Dervish over here. So I think it's a reasonable take. I would put it in sometimes as well. Flame Juggler. Flame Juggler is interesting because it's a very, very tough fight, or it's extremely easy, and it really depends on how much burst your build can survive. Because if you're like a full Weaponessa or something, and you don't have any shield, any heal, at the start of combat he burns you for like 34, and then another 10 when you drop below half. That's a lot of burn, and it can really kill you. But in some builds you're like, okay, I don't really care, it's not that much burn, because I could just shield it all off and then heal it all off. So the only real thing with this guy you're thinking about is XP. His rewards are not good. His skill, which when an enemy falls below half you burn 10, is fine. Like if you're, again, like Weapon Vanessa or like an aggressive, I mean any build. Burning an extra 10 when they fall below half, especially if you're a burn build, it's a decent chunk of damage. And if you're like a burn build, Cinders can add burn to one of your items. It's a decent, you know, not, these aren't great item rewards at all. You're going to want to take this for the XP, but it's not a give me like a lot of other high XP ones are. So I'm going to say often take, but it's not like a gimme. Because like Ahexa, I'm going to take it pretty much always. Not because the rewards are good. I mean, Crypto is a very nice reward. Ahexa has terrible rewards, but it's also super easy. So it's like Flame Juggler with bad rewards. It's way easier. Like this, I've never lost this fight, even if some real shit is aboard. It's 3 XP, and 3 XP is usually a lot better for me than anything else I'm getting down here. So I take it a lot. Bad rewards, good thing to take. HellBilly, same tier. HellBilly's a little bit harder than Ahexa. Also has a little bit better rewards. You can things like a gold scrap, or is it diamond scrap, that you can re-roll using Mandala. You can also get things like Ganja, which might be fine day 4, depending on how your build is shaping up. Stuff like that. Totally fine to take, but I'm still mostly taking this guy for the XP. It's a lot of XP. The Prince himself, same thing. His rewards are fine, not amazing. Depending on who you're playing, they kind of vary a little bit. Like Eels, not a bad reward. You like early Coconut or Citrus is a fair bit of health or regen. You're not going to complain at that. But then you get stuff like Piranhas, and you're like, that's kind of bad. 4 XP is a lot, especially early. So that's why it's like, if you can take that 4 XP, I think you should take that 4 XP, regardless of the fact that his rewards are bad. I think in general, and this is going to be a very common theme in this tier list, if their rewards are really good, like they have the amazing rewards to consider that, like taking them against XP, in my opinion. So, take Prince. Also, Prince is really hard now, so be careful of that. Like, again, remember guys, I'm only saying take these if you can. Because, like, you're not always going to be able to beat Prince. A lot of times I skip Prince because he's very, very strong. But if you can take him, you should always take him. 4 XP is a shit ton. Day 5, Preening Duelist. So, Preening Duelist is actually pretty interesting. If I'm a weapon Vanessa, I might actually take this over XP. Like a higher XP fight. His All-Talk skill is insane. It gives you plus 25 damage on all your weapons while you're above half health. Very good on Vanessa, or like any weapon setup. Very good. Especially like your Vanessa, you get things like a gold pistol sword, very good grab. This is really one of the first mobs where you start to consider like skills over XP, and I take it pretty often depending on what I'm playing. SabreTooth is in like the same boat, because you can either get like a decent pelt that you can re-roll, but like the real thing here is you can Diamond Fang, which it's a really bad skill early, but like late game insane skill, or you can get Shiny Fangs, which are, fangs on a 3-second cooldown that multicast twice, which is insane for weapons, it's insane for dually, very, very good. You could re-roll it, which honestly, I probably don't do enough now that I'm saying that out loud, but really good. And that's another one I'll very often take over XP, just because like the Diamond's Fang skills, reducing the cooldown of all your small diamond items, or that Shiny Fangs item, are really good. Really, really good. Infernal Envoy. I've honestly never really taken this fight, because I, again, am a big XP guzzler. It's not bad. Like, circumstantially, it can be really good. If you have a good burn build going, and you're like, I really want to lean into this, getting that, like, restorative Fiery Claw is pretty solid. And his skill, where you reduce the cooldown of, like, your left and rightmost items by X%, not bad either. If you have a good burn build going, I would take this, but like I'm not always going to take this, so I think it's circumstantial, like situational, and you might even still, even if you have a sick burn build, take XP over this. Let's see, Flame Juggler, yeah, so Flame Juggler, never. And the reason, before we would take it, is day 4, when it gave us 3 XP, now it gives us 2 XP, and the rewards are still ass. And if you're looking at these 2 events, like bronze fights that are often worth taking over more XP versus the silver fight that's ass, has bad rewards, gives the same number of XP, horrible. Don't take Flame Juggler. Horrible event. On day 5. Day 4, it's pretty solid. Rocket Trooper. If you're going Rocket Trooper, you're really fishing for specific stuff. Like a weapon Vanessa would do really well into it. Either one weapon, or if you have like a lot of ammo stuff. It's got some semi-decent rewards. Rocket Boots is really nice because you can sell it to give permanent upgrades to your haste items. You also have a gold haste cloak, which is really what you're rooting for, as like a one-weapon Vanessa. Eagle Talisman for extra crit. Flashy Reload, which is when you crit reload an item, can be really good on a Vanessa, or I guess like dual. It really depends. It could be good on like Mac too, but Vanessa comes to mind. I would take Preening Duelist all day before this guy. By the way, I think Preening Duelist is way better if you're looking for like ammo weapony stuff, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not horrible, especially if you don't want to like, maybe you're too weak to take the XP. I'm a circumstantial. Kyver Drone has horrible rewards. It can give you B, which is horrible. It can also give you like Junkyard Lance, which is horrible. If you don't get the skill, I think it's when your opponent uses like a weapon, charge a non-weapon or something like that the first 5 times I fight. Decent skill, not like nothing to go out of your way for. If you don't get that or Insect Wing to reduce cooldown, the rewards are horrible. Are horrible, 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 horrible. Horrible. The only reason you could ever really justify going here, in my opinion, is if you have something so strong. Like if you got in a very early powder keg and you're like, this is going to be my build the whole game, no doubt, I just want to try to get cooldown on it. And you're like basically praying that you get an insect wing from this guy. That is the only reason I can imagine going there. And I think that's so situational, I'm going to say never. Mod Squad? Mod Squad, I don't love it. It's an easy fight and it's good XP, so oftentimes I'll take it. Yeah, that's kind of simple. Like, the rewards aren't great. If you're dually, the rewards get a fair bit better because you can actually use them. You can get crypto from this guy, which is a pretty nice reward. But if I'm taking it, it's for the XP. Gorgon Noble is going in this always take tier. Obviously, it gives 3 XP. It's quite nice. Super, super, super nice. If you can beat her, you should always take her because the potential rewards she gives you are insane. She can give you Petrifying Gaze, which is when you fall below half health, like freeze all enemy items for a second at silver tier, which is insane. You could get Paralytic Poison, which is like first time you poison, freeze for X amount of time. Both those skills are insane. And then, if you're a poison build, it only gets stronger. She offers very good poison rewards for you. She can also offer Blood Vial as a reward, which you can sell for XP. Super good. So you can either, like, if you high roll, you can get 4 XP from this event, or you can get like Petrifying Gaze or Paralytic Poison, both insane skills. Super good. Always take if you can. Trashtown Mayor. I usually take this because of XP. Its rewards are decent. I think they're better than Mod Squad. Actually, do I have Mod Squad too high? I'm looking at my... I actually did. I want to put Mod Squad here. The XP is nice, but the rewards are so bad that compared to something like Duelist or SabreTooth, the lines become blurry, so I put that too high. Trashtown. It's going to go right here next to it. And the reason is, I don't love the rewards. Like, circumstantially, you could have some good rewards. Either of his skills, augmented weaponry, augmented defenses, every time you sell a small item, you know, you get a permanent +1 damage, or a permanent +1 shield for all your shield and weapon items for the rest of the game. It's really good. If you get something like that on Vanessa, it's really, really good. Or like any weapon build, really good. But all this other stuff is so bad. So bad. And like, it's still kind of a toss-up if you take Preening Duelist or Trashtown, if you're like a weapon build in this case. And it's really tough. And I don't love Trashtown. But it's good XP, and I will still very often take it. Scovyle. XP. Scovyle offers 4 XP, which is good. His rewards, if you're not playing a burn build, absolutely atrocious. But 4 XP is 4 XP. If you are playing a burn build, his honestly still a lot of bad. He has a burn skill, which will give all your items +1 burn, which is solid. He also has Black Pepper, which is a, you know, charge and burn item. It's pretty solid, especially at higher ranks. 4 XP is a lot though. So if you can, always take my man Scove. He's kind of like medium hard. He's not like a gimme by any chance. But he's solid. Like, he's doable though. But 4 XP is 4 XP. I always take it. Dire Inglet. Honestly, this encounter is not that bad to run into if it's a random encounter. Like, if you take Mountain Pass and you're like, I want to fight something, you get Dire Inglet, you're not really mad about it. But I don't think it's one you want to go out of your way to choose. And the only really good reward from it is Obsidian Fang, which is a Fang that deals double damage. And it's good, but only for specific builds. And same with his skill, like, it's when you use a weapon, it continues to gain weapon crit chance for the rest of the fight. And it's like, only very specific things want that. And there's a lot of competition on day 6. And even though this isn't horrible compared to some other nevers in this tier, I'm going to put it here, just because the competition is so fierce. If you, again, random encounter, you're not that mad about it, but the competition is just very fierce. Dire Mosquito. This is situational. Like the other bugs, the only thing you really want here is the cooldown. It does have a very strong, like, set of slow synergies, which could be good. Like, there's a very good slow skill, which I think is like when you slow charge an item or when you slow haste an item, something like that. Pretty good skill. So if you have a slow build, like, you could really consider that, but that's pretty niche and situational. Beyond that, you go here if you're like, okay, I really want Insect Wing, I really want cooldown on something, like, this item is going to be so pivotal to my build and I need it to be fast, I need an Insect Wing, so you go there. Zookeeper. Zookeeper has a lot of good things for a lot of different builds, and so I actually take it some of the time. And so if you have a friendship build or like a poison build, there's a skill that every time you use a friend, poison 1. There's also the salamander loot item. If you have a burn build, you can sell it for +4 burn on your, leftmost burn item. You could also get crook, either as a pig or anyone, to get like a little crook setup. Honestly, like there's a few different builds that come to mind. So because of that and the versatility, like I pick it more often than, something like Mosquito. Foreman. I'm gonna barely put it in situational. Every item that he has is horrible. His skill is horrible. It's basically only if I'm trying to high roll Crane. And for that reason, like I never take it. I'm actually gonna put it in never. Because if you're in a spot where you're like, oh god, I really need to try to 1 in 6 high roll Crane, you're in a bad way. So I don't think you should take Foreman. Bad XP, bad rewards, everything. Don't take it. Trash Golem. So Trash Golem is basically like Foreman, but you're trying to high roll a gold powder keg, which is pretty good. And then you also get the Jury Rigger skill, which is also pretty good. And like, I'm actually gonna put this in sometimes. I think its rewards a little better. Like powder keg, like trying to high roll a Crane, it's like, okay, this might be strong. Trying to high roll a powder keg is like, if you high roll powder keg, you're like, okay, now I have an end game. Like, I have something to play for here. So I think that's the way. Enclave Weeper. Good XP. The rewards can be pretty good if you hit Blood Vial, which you can sell for XP, or if you're a poison build, you can get Ouroboros statue or the poison skill that when you poison, you increase your crit chance for the fight. Otherwise, it's okay, but I'm taking it because we love XP in this house. Loan Shark, always take. Loan Shark is awesome because not only does it have really good XP, it has really good rewards too. So you have Power Broker, which is a skill that you get your weapons gain damage to your income. Very good. Again, for free, you just increase your damage. ATM is a permanent income increase on all heroes. You pick up ATM and you get, like a permanent plus, I think it's 2, maybe 3 income. Cannon can be really strong on Pig. The 2 Shark Claws could be decent on any weapon setup. I mean, if you're getting a Silver Shark Claws at this point in the game, it's like, you might be a little behind the curve, but it's not horrible. Crushing Waves, which is like hasting weapons when you use aquatic items. Very good for Vanessa. It's very good rewards, and it gives 3 XP. I pretty much always take Shark if I can beat it, but he's a little tough, but doable. Infernal is an XP guy. He gives 4 XP. You can get the Great Sword, and that can be a really insane reward, but it kind of takes a little something to get it set up, like it doesn't, you don't like get Great Sword and you're like, oh, 10 wins, you know what I mean? So I think of this as an XP take, and if you can take it, 4 XP, beautiful. Great Sword is a nice reward. Every other reward is pretty bad. Lich, always take. Here's the thing. Lich, I basically take never. Okay? I have beaten him twice, 3 times out of like 20 attempts. But if you can take Lich, if you can beat Lich, like you can beat Lich, which I'm still trying to figure out what that fucking recipe is, because I always get absolutely cooked. You take him. You have to take him, because not only does he have really insane rewards, he has Chilling Touch, which is first time you freeze slow all opponent items by like 3 seconds at first rank. Petrifying Gaze, which is that like Medusa skill from Gorgon. You also get Necronomicon, which is an insane thing that gives you regen. It's like Matchbox, but with poison and regen. Disgusting. You get Wand. Disgusting in the right build. Charge all your non-weapon items by a second. 2 seconds at Diamond. Disgusting. And if you don't like that stuff, who cares? He gives you 5 XP. Again, he's really insane, really fucking hard to beat. But if you can beat him, man, oh my god, like, you could get 5 XP and a crazy reward. Super hard. If you beat him though, you do it. Even if you don't have good rewards, 5 XP is insane. Sergeant Suds! He's horrible. Let's put him over here. You're only ever going to take this if you're trying to pull off like a Galaxy Brain Rivet Gun high roll, where you're like, Rivet Gun's going to complete this build. It's basically like, we have Pendulum at home type beat. I've never ever thought to even try that. The only reason I thought that is because I was looking back through what his like encounter does, and I was like, oh, he has Rivet Gun. Even if you get his like clean storefront skill as Pig, which increases an item's value in combat, your leftmost item's value, on something like Fixer Upper, it's not good, and it's not worth it. 2 XP, low gold, bad rewards. Don't take it. Viper Tyrant, the rewards are pretty bad unless you're specifically going for his skill. And his skill is going to be whenever you poison, you gain X amount of regen. And if you're a poison build and you're like, this is going to complete me, this is going to be very strong, like I really need some sustain, I really need regen, Viper Tyrant, fine. Anything else, why would you take it? His rewards are bad, you don't care about a poison skill if you're not poisoning. I'm actually going to do the same thing for Joyful Jack and Ghost Pepper. All these guys, very circumstantial. Joyful Jack, not great rewards unless you get his skill, which is when you heal, charge a poison item. So if you have a build where you have a lot of heal, a lot of poison, that could be quite good, and I won't contest that. But otherwise you don't care. Ghost Pepper, he's a super hard fight, and the only reason you want to take him is if you have a nuts burn build, you want to get the skill that when you burn, gain regen for the fight. It's like gain 6 regen every time you burn. Insane skill. But you don't care if you're not a burn build, right? So these are all situational. Cosmic Rock, often take. And the reason is, you're not ever really going to be mad at picking Cosmic Rock is because of Feather. Because if you get a gold Feather from Cosmic Rock, you'll put 6% cooldown on all of your items, which is quite good. Especially, like, the more synergistic your build is, if you're playing something like Dually, where everything, like, works together, like, change your core, or you're, like, doing bugs, where it's, like, everything chains off each other, cooldown just gets better and better the more you have, like, of it. So Cosmic Rock's really good. Like, putting cooldown on anything is never bad, and it's, like, 6% off your board is quite decent. Beyond that, he also has, she, I don't know, also has 2 other good skills. You have Cosmic Wind, which is, I believe, when you crit, you haste an item. And then you also have, like, gold Keen Eye, so you get 12% crit. So you have pretty good options, and Feather. And also, if you're weak, it's nigh impossible to lose this fight. It does actually, like, no damage. I don't know. The only reason I wouldn't take this is for XP, and there is a lot of, like, kind of XP, what's the best way to put it? Like, competition on this day. So Thug is going an always take. Here's where we're going to see, like, a pretty unique situation, because there's a lot of very good always takes on day 7, and then you're kind of ultimately going to have to figure out which always take you want, especially if you're going, like, Thug versus Radiant Corsair, for example, which I would take this. But basically, if you are willing to gamble the 1 XP you would get from taking a harder fight, you could take a chance on getting the Bonk skill, which will increase all of your opponent's items by 1 second. The Bonk skill is an insane skill. There's, like, no opportunity cost. You can just slot it in any build, and it's insane. Insane. It's gotta be, like, top 3 in the game in strength, along with Fiery Rebirth and the Etherwright skill. Rigged. Like, it's insane. No opportunity cost. You're just stronger for, like, no reason. Literally no downside. Like, for example, not to diss Charles here, but Charles or Shock Trooper, they give 3 XP, but I'm like, okay, 3 XP, they don't give great rewards. I'm gonna try to get Bonk. I get 1 less XP, but Bonk is Bonk, man. And then if you're doing, like, a weapons build, he also has some other decent rewards. You can, like, scale your weapons up. Haste builds with anchors, like, a potential. There's also that thing you can sell to increase the duration of your slow items. Like, it's the Bonk high roll, but it's not dead. It's not like a dead fight if you don't get Bonk either. Chili Charles. Here's the thing. Chili Charles has pretty good XP, 3 XP. His rewards are not amazing. If I'm taking it, it is because of XP. However, if you get his Hammock, which you can re-roll at the Mando event to get a medium item with Frozen, it's pretty good, or Icy, whatever. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. Pun not intended. He can also give you Icicle for the start of combat freeze, which is nice. He also has that skill that when you freeze, your items gain crit chance for the fight. And those are all fine. Those are all reasonable. So I'm going to say often taken, but it's not like an always take, Shock Trooper's in a similar situation to Charles, in which none of his items are amazing. I mean, he gives 3 XP, but his items are just worse. Like, Charles doesn't have a lot of good items, Shock Trooper has a lot less good items. And unless you're doing, like, a burn build with very specific needs, you don't really care about what Shock Trooper's giving you. Charles is better in its rewards, so I'm putting Shock Trooper below it. Treasure Turtle! Go up here, man. Go hang with Thug. Now, Treasure Turtle is better than those other two, because it only gives 3 XP, but its rewards are just way better. It gives you this really good skill, potentially, that when you fall below half, or maybe it's, yeah, I think fall below half, gain a huge amount of shield. Like 50% or something. 30% maybe? 30% at silver. It's a lot of shield when you fall below half. Insane skill. Or you can also just get 1,000,000 gold. Like you can just give you stuff that sells for like 12, 50, whatever, bro. Like a lot of XP, a lot of potential gold, or a very good skill. Like it's hard not to take that. Like I would probably take that over rock unless I really needed the cooldown. And I think it is that good that I want to take it. This versus Bonk is tough because like it kind of depends how my XP is going, like how much I've accumulated. Like if I need to hit a breakpoint with XP, obviously I'm going to take the one that gives more XP to get to that breakpoint kind of thing. It's tough, like just knowing that this is good and knowing your odds of getting Bonk aren't that high, I might take Turtle. Now Radiant Corsair, always take. Always take, always take, always take. Very little needs to be said. If you go here, you're hoping for Fiery Rebirth so you can post it. And you're like, congrats, nice, like I just got a whole extra life. Perfect. Yeah, you get the best skill in the game and you get 5 XP. That is all you need to say. That's all you need to say. Take Corsair. Cosmic Rock, same as last day. Let's put you up here. Joyful Jack, same as last day, or it's situational. Infernal Frigate. In the right burn build, you have decent rewards. Not amazing rewards, but decent, serviceable rewards. I don't love it. Fire starters are pretty good skill. Oh, man. It's situational. Not amazing. Car Conductor. Rewards are really bad because Stell items aren't, you know, updated because Stell isn't in the game yet. If you have a vehicle, either of the skills you get, very good, but you need a vehicle. It's very specific. I'm going to say circumstantial, and a lot of times you're probably going to want to take XP over that. Oasis Guardian. It's really good if you get the skill. The skill is you have 10 regen for each non-weapon item you have. That's a lot of regen. Pretty early. You gotta love that. If you're a Mac, like you can also get things like Femur, a lot of Mac items. I mean, Femurs could be pretty good in other heroes too. I'm going to say sometimes take. Dr. Vortex, by the way. Put him in always. His skill is insane. His skill is insane. It's just a bunch of free charge for no reason, and it's 3 XP. If you get his skill, like literally, it's like first time you poison, burn, haste, slow, freeze, whatever, like you charge an item 2 seconds. Insane. His skill's always good. It's a lot better than a lot of the silver and bronze fights here. Take Vortex. Bouncertron. I'm not in love with a lot of the other day 8 stuff. I'll put always take just because 3 XP is always good over 2 XP, but I'm not in love with him, okay? It'd be kind of weird if I was, if I had like a romantic obsession with Bouncertron. But his item rewards aren't great. If you're a weapon build, maybe. If I see a rock, it's kind of a toss-up if I want that XP or if I want to try to roll for cooldown. So I'm putting him in off and take. Burninator Bot. Burninator Bot is another one. I'm taking it for the XP. The rewards aren't amazing. If you have a burn build, you might have extra burn synergy. For me, I usually go to Burninator Bot and I'm like, alright man, give me Flamethrower. This is the build. This is my dream Flamethrower build. I want to make this happen. And it never does. It never does. And it feels horrible. But that's okay. Again, not super impressed by the day 8 fights a lot of the time. Especially if they're bronze or silver. So I just usually take it for XP. Now Wandering Shoal is in a very similar tier. Except it's a little better because it has a meaningful skill. It has the Thick Hide skill, which is when you slow, you get to charge an item for a second. It's still an off and take. It's not amazing. But if you have like slow synergy like that, pretty good, and it's definitely a tier above these, even though they're in the same tier, if you know what I'm saying. 3 XP, reward, skill good, like good skill reward. Rewards are decent, especially if you're like Aquatic Vanessa, but I'm not raving about it. I still, again, depending on the build, Cosmic Rock, always good. Dragon. Dragon is good, but it's for XP. Now, Dragon does have strong rewards. Draconic Rage and Regenerative as skills are always good. Draconic Rage, even if you don't have Burn, it's fine, because it's a diamond item, there's no opportunity cost, you can just add it to your build. Regenerative, 20 regen, it's fine. Like, is it amazing? No, but it's a little extra healing, it's fine. If you're playing a Burn build, this is an always take, not XP, but most of the time you're not playing a Burn build, there's a billion builds in this game. If you get a Dragon Heart, you can absolutely break your Burn build. It would be an obvious always take, but it's definitely situational depending on what you're building. And most of the time I'm taking this fight not because of Dragonheart, but because I can get 5 XP. I think you should always take this fight if you can. Think of it for the XP, not necessarily the rewards, unless you're a burn build. Day 9. Remember him? Hearthstone streamer? Okay. Bloodreef Captain. If you are a one-weapon Vanessa with flagship, and you are trying to become a better one-weapon Vanessa with flagship, or if you have a really decent like vehicle build and you're looking for vehicle skills, or maybe you like, oh, Captain's Wheel could be good in my build, reasonable. This has a situational niche, but it's not that good. Oasis Guardian. This one's horrible. Now it's really bad. Now everything it does has fallen off by a day, and also the fights on day 9 are a lot better, and the XP is usually a lot better than anything you're getting from Oasis Guardian. I don't like taking Oasis Guardian on day 9. Elite Duelist. So Elite Duelist's main reward is its diamond skill, which all your weapons have lifesteal. That's really good. Really good. Big ego skill. Really good. Or you can also get spices from him. Very good. However, the odds of getting it aren't super high. It's a very nice reward depending on the build. Sometimes I'm willing to take that risk on it, especially if I'm not super impressed by any of the higher XP stuff. So I'm going to put him up here and sometimes. Pharaoh's Khan, situational. Kind of like Bloodreef Captain, I'm using it to strengthen my sniper builds. Or like any one weapon build. I'm hoping for like a silencer, I'm hoping for a sniper upgrade, that kind of thing. Or if I'm weak, but like know I can kill it before it kills me, I'll take that fight. Yurden, I'm sorry, Raynad. I never take this fight. Ever. I've literally never consciously chosen this fight. However, I looked at it, and if you have a heavy slow build, something like a lighthouse build, femur build, every time you slow you gain regen. It's okay, but I think the other rewards are so bad, and honestly, you don't gain that much regen. I think it's 2 per slow, a gold skill. It's not that good. I'm gonna say you never take this fight. Roaming Island. You take this pretty often. Take it pretty often. And the reason is it's not, you know, always going to give you something good, but it's 3 XP, and you get the skill, you have the potential to get the diamond skill, that when you heal, charge a shield item. That's pretty good, especially on something like Pig, or Mac, depending on what build, you know, or Lifesteal, whatever. Heal, charge a shield could be quite good. Pretty decent shield, or pretty decent skill. And also give you like Tropical Island, which will give you extra citrus and health at the end of every hour. Other than that, you know, 3 XP, I often take this, but I'm not raving about it. If I had a weapons build, I would probably take this over this, you know. Weapons platform. Same thing, often take, but this is an XP take. I don't love the rewards. A lot of the day 9 fights, honestly, don't really impress me. So I usually go for this platform here, just for XP. Some of the skills can be nice, like you have crit as a skill, you also have the one that whenever you use a large item, you haste 2 small items. In the right build, those skills are fine. So, often take just because of XP though. Enclave Revenant. This is an XP take. 4 XP, always take it if possible. If you're Mac, you can get that skill that when you're when you regen, you scale a burn item. So every time you regen, you're gonna like add +1/+2 to a burn item for the fight. That's not bad. Otherwise the rewards are really bad. However, so like, you're not doing it for the skills, whatever, but 4 XP is good, and I'm really down for 4 XP. Can't complain about that. Half a level, take it. Death Knight Reaper, always take. And the reason, 5 XP, tremendous. 5 XP is always tremendous. Beyond that though, Death Knight Reaper has really good rewards. You have Deadly Eye, 20% weapon crit, Desperate Cleanse, when you fall below, I believe, half, you cleanse half your burn, poison, remove slow and frost from all your items. That's a really good skill, man. That's a really good skill. Hypnotic Drain. When you use a lifesteal item, you freeze an item for 2 seconds. Those are all really good skills. And they're all diamond, so even if you pick them up, it's not going to clog your skill pool. Mortal Coil, which is going to give lifesteal to the weapon to the left of Mortal Coil. It's really good in the right build. Sapphire. Increase your freeze duration on all your other items by 1 second. Really good in the right build. So, not only do you get 5 XP from this guy, amazing, 5 out of 8 of the potential combat rewards are also quite good, if not great. Always take Reaper if you can, he's insane. Day 10! Day 10. Guys, if you're still with me up to this point, thank you, because this is a lot. Hulking Experiment, I only take this when I'm weak. Every single reward is bad. Literally, I can't name a single good reward from this guy. Unless you're like Athenor Mac build and you want an Athenor upgrade. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Never take it. Nope. Let's put you after Rainhead. Okay. Master Alchemist. I'm gonna do this over here actually. Master Alchemist. Niche skill that basically doesn't fit into a lot of different builds, and the rewards are really bad if you're not getting that niche skill. I only take him if I'm super weak and I absolutely need to. It feels horrible. Don't take this guy. Boss Hero. First things first. Isn't it funny that this guy, he's like a mafia boss. He gives 2 XP, which is the same as a literal banana gives in terms of XP. Can we unpack that? It's kind of funny. If I am on the weaker side, or I know that one of the stronger enemies I can't beat in a fight, I'll take Hero, especially if I'm a weapons build. He can give you crit. He can give you the skill that whenever a non-weapon is used, slow it by 2 seconds. Pretty good. There's another skill, like, all those skills are fine. And you can get, like, weapon upgrades, that kind of stuff. It's fine. I take him sometimes. Like, I'm not ever stoked to take Hero, but I'm not like, oh, the Hero's horrible. Property Baron? Okay. Property Baron is the quintessential situational monster. If you're playing Pig, especially if you're playing Pig with, like, Fixer Upper, the way you have to evaluate this guy is completely different. I have honestly taken Property Baron, who gives 2 XP, over things like Octopus that give 5, just because the skills you get as Pig can be insane. Like, he has one skill that your items have double value in combat. If you're playing Fixer Upper, it might be like the best skill in the game for you. It doubles the value, like doubles the impact of everything you have. It's insane. Anyone else, you don't really care though. It's so interesting. Like, Pig, this would be like an off and take. Or always take, maybe. Everyone else, it's like never. Unless you're looking for like nice skills to have, like +2 value on all your items, just keeps your economy better. Or plus 50% crit chance on large items is a nice skill to have too. Pig, huge, huge. Everyone else, who cares? Trash Titan, if you're picking this guy, you're running a large item, and you are trying to high roll the Juggler skill, which is whenever you use a large item, or sorry, whenever you use a small item, charge a light item for a second. Really cool on Dualtron. XP is still a lot better than this guy, but if you can't beat whatever your XP fight is, and you're like, that skill would be really good in my build, it's worth trying to beat him. He's not that strong. Go for it. It's a lot better than these two, for sure. Especially if you can't beat whatever the stronger enemy is. Frost Street Champion. Insane. Depending on what your build you're playing, he has like a top 3 skill in the game. Top 4, top 5, whatever. His skill, Blizzard, freezes all non-weapons at the start of combat. If you are a weapon build, you have a 2-second head start on your opponent if they are not a weapon build. That is insane. One of the best skills in the game if you're running weapons. Otherwise, his other rewards are really respectable. You have Snowflake to increase freeze duration, you have Sapphire to increase freeze duration, Invigorating Cold, which is first time you freeze each combat, haste some items. Iceberg's respectable. And it's like, it is a very hard fight, especially if you have a lot of non-weapon items, because he'll freeze them all at the start. But the rewards are frickin' good, man. Frickin' good. If you can take him, you should. The XP's nice, and his rewards are good. Take him. Same with Volcus. So Volcus, also, very good freeze rewards. You get Icicle, which is like start of combat. You can freeze an item for 6 seconds. Insane. You have great skills. You have a skill that first 3 times you shield each combat, you freeze an item for a second. Very good. You can get Icebreaker, which is basically like anti-freeze in your build. Insane. If I can beat this guy, I'm always taking him. Like either of those freeze guys, any freeze skill, super welcome, super good. Always take him. Okay, I had Lord of the Waste next. I'm gonna do this. This is an XP guy. His rewards are okay. If you have Pendulum from him, very insane in the right build, especially if it has an upgrade. So some builds really love a Pendulum, but a lot of his rewards are just hot garbage. And his skill is also, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Every time any item is used, like all items gain plus 2% crit chance in the fight. It could be really good, especially if you're like locking him down heavy using a ton of items. But it could also totally bite you in the ass. 4 XP, nothing to scoff at. This guy's usually a pretty easy fight too, so take him for the XP. If you get Pendulum and you need it, awesome, but you're taking this guy for the XP mostly. Void Golem, dude, I hate this fucking fight. This fight is so hard for no reason, like, oh my god. It might be the hardest fight in the game, genuinely. I want to know what the win rate against it, but if you can take him, you should. 4 XP is quite nice. I mean, does he belong? I don't know if he belongs in the XP or always take section, because I'm gonna say XP because 4 XP is good, but he also has really decent rewards. And the reason is that in the right build, caltrops can be nuts. In the right build, spices can be nuts. Singularity can be nuts. His skills can be nuts. But it's very like build dependent. But 4 XP is 4 XP, and if you can beat him, you should take him. So I always take. Octopus. Quintessential XP. Super easy fight. His rewards are horrible. Most of the time you're just going to get this tiny little sword, which sucks. Octopus is a fine reward for selling. Sometimes it can fit into a build. Usually you're selling it. He does have the skill that if you have one medium item, reduce its cooldown by 30%. Pretty good if you're running one medium item. Or it's like an excuse to take out some other medium items, whatever. He also has the skill that give your weapons crit chance, like 2% crit chance for each weapon you have. It's fine. Like any additional weapon crit chance is welcome. But honestly, dude, it's XP. 5 XP is a lot. You take this guy for his XP. Awakened District, same thing. XP. Pig, loves his skills, loves his item. Everyone else, XP. I wouldn't overthink it. 5 XP is 5 XP. Later you are in the game, not that hard to beat this guy. Arkin, XP-kin. 5 XP is 5 XP. He has better rewards than Awakened District. Also, Soul the District can be really nuts in the right build, but like, it has to be the right build, so that's why it's an always take, but not, you know, this section. Arkin, his skill is super nice. You get 40 shield every time an item goes off. It's nice, not game breaking. It's like a decent chunk. Beyond that, I mean, the Eclipse can be really good in the right build, but not always. A timely Arkin's Ring can be really nice to regain some prestige and help you survive longer. But most of the time, that's more just like a bonus. You take this guy because you're like, oh shit, that's 5 XP. Void Colossus, same thing. His items could be really good in the right build, but it's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. If you're a burn build, he has insane skills. You have one skill that charges I believe, shield item every time you burn. You have another skill that hastes an item every time you burn. Both insane. I have the Colossus and the right build to start destroying their whole board. Insane. Void Shield. Whenever they use an item, burn them, and then shield equal to your burn. Insane. In the right build, if you're a burn build, I would put Void Colossus and always take. But if you're not, take them for the XP. Okay, and now we're down to these special events. These are all event related. How I think about these is, these are just like extra ways of XP. I'm very high on things like Mountain Pass and stuff like that, any like extra fight. So that's the way I think about this. Like Bounty Hunters, if you're Vanessa, you should always click it when you see the event pop up. Because you'll beat them, you'll get 4 XP for beating them, or maybe it's 3. Either way, 3, 4 XP is a lot of XP, always very welcome, you should always take it. The rewards are okay. You have that skill on Vanessa, which will do 15% at the start of combat damage to your enemy, which is not nothing, it's pretty good. But you take it for the XP. Same thing, Mr. Moo, if you get the Thieves Guild event, Mr. Moo is probably the best option in my opinion. He gives you 4 XP when you kill him. His rewards can be a little lackluster, but if you're running something like Powder Keg, it's really nice. I've been loving my Powder Kegs lately. Nice XP, I think he's a lot better reward than any of the Thieves Guild stuff, but doubling your income or raiding the vault is fine. XP is usually the way to go. 4 XP is a lot. And this one is interesting. You don't have a choice to see the Mimic as far as I'm aware. If you click like random encounter, that's when Mimic shows up. So isn't that cool? So because of that, you don't really have a choice. If you're seeing Mimic anyways, you were trying to take a fight or trying to take more XP, if you will. So I'm putting him here. But Mimic, great fight. He's a very strong skill if you can get it, legendary skill, which is when you fall below half, destroy an enemy item for the fight. Very powerful. But you can't literally seek out Mimic. He hides. He shows up at random encounters. Alright, guys, that's my list. Let's zoom out again. That's the whole list. So, guys, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, please drop a like and subscribe below. It all helps the channel tremendously. You know, I'm still trying to do my daily Bazaar uploads, but also get my educational content out. Beyond that, let me know what you guys think of the tier list. You know, obviously, I have my opinions, but you guys will have yours too, and all are, you know, worth hearing. Face cam should be ready by Friday. I'm sorry for the continuous delays. I decided that I wasn't happy with how things were looking, and I did another investment in some lighting. So hopefully, you know, I don't want to just like half-ass the face cam thing. I want it to like come in looking good. So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, let me know. Until then, enjoy your life, and I'll catch you in the next one.